With the world saved from defeating Xeno'jiiva, it was now time to hop into the content known as Iceborne. So we spent a few days trying to buff up our character and Palico, invested in this Diablos Charge Blade set, and even got us the Gamma Valhazak armor set. It's time to put this new equipment to work. So it was now time to speak with the feisty Fiver. There was a sighting of a Legiana in the ancient forest for some reason, and they never leave the Coral Highlands. So of course we had to check it out. The ancient forest was looking luscious and full of life, and so was our handler. Damn. We were tracking Legiana's footprints. We eventually tracked it far enough, and we spotted the Legiana. And it wasn't just one, it was a whole army of them. They were all headed to one direction, but where was the question? It was probably to get away from this thing, or maybe to go to this new land. We headed back to base to receive a briefing. We needed to figure out why the Legiana were leaving their natural habitat. This wasn't normal behavior, so it was time to set out once again. We got the fleet ready, and we took to the skies to reach our next location. We broke off from the airship now though. We had to find a place for this thing to land, so we hit the ground and began to search. We changed into something a little bit more warm, and then we headed out. After searching for a while, we were graced with the beauty of this new land. It was cold but still full of life. We searched a bit looking for clues, and not before long we had a surprise visitor. This thing could surf in the snow, and it was hungry for human. We had to take out Beatotus, so we went into combat with our first Iceborne monster, and these things were on a different level. We needed to chill in the hot spring for a bit to warm up, and then we went back into Pound Town with this Beatotus. I'm not gonna lie, this guy was tough, but our Diablos hammer was tougher, so we hit him with the pow wow. Damn, I bet he liked that damage. This guy was running now, but you already know we had to follow him. So we hopped off the ledge with our hammer, gave him a quick strike, and then after some more tussling, we had finally slain it. He was a worthy adversary, but not strong enough, so we skinned him to honor him and returned back to base. Well, more like found a place to land our base, so we signaled the airship, and now the airbase could finally make landfall. So we slowly set up the base, and now we had a monster hunter fleet on this new island. We then got acquainted with our new base. After a quick weapon change, it was time for another expedition, so we went over to Hoarfrost Reach. We needed to find a route for supplies to come in from, so we had to eliminate anybody in the area in order to provide them safe passage, even if it meant taking these penguins out. It's been a while since I used the great sword also, so this was going to be an interesting battle. We began to find some footprints though. There was definitely something in the area, so we followed these tracks until we found a blockage. We tried to get through ourselves, but only the Incredible Hulk could have made this, or of course a monster called Banbaros. Damn, look at that. This is the biggest moose I've ever seen, and it was hunting season. It was time to take this man's down, so I went after him with the great sword. Immediately got him with one of our most powerful attacks, and it looks like Beatotus was helping us out too. Damn, what a man. We were laying the absolute beatdown on this man's, laying in some pretty powerful hits. I think I was becoming a fan of the great sword. Damn, this thing is fun. We were getting the beat down too though. This man was nothing to play with. It was time to chase after these two now. Banbaros was about to meet his match, so we surprised him from the back, and he was distracted by Beatotus, so we were able to just delay some hits on him. Damn, we even knocked him down. This was the perfect opportunity to try and break his horns, so we laid the smack down on this man's. But them horns are tough. Maybe they were built for tough. Damn, these two were still going at it though. Damn. And then he tried to hit me with a log. Not today, sir. We were not gonna succumb to you. Not even a rock would stop us, but maybe a headbutt. Damn. We were getting a little frosty during this battle though. We had to make sure we got heated back up. And afterwards we were warm enough to get another knock. This Banbaros chose the wrong monster hunter, and he was slain in the snow. I think I had a harder time with Beatotus. Damn. So we skinned him to honor him. The supply route was now secured. We received those supplies unscathed now, and now our base was about to be fully in working order. Our base was now booming. And speaking about booming, we've added a few booming mods, and this is definitely going to make the game a little bit more spicy. We've added Monster Hunter Stories Iceborne, which basically allows you to take a monster companion with you on your hunts. So now we have our man Deep Kong, and this monster definitely puts in the work. We've also added some new UI elements utilizing the Monster Pie add-on, and after adding those additions, we found our way back in Hoarfrost Reach. It was time for some more investigations. We were looking for Legiana tracks. We stumbled upon a few in the snow, and then eventually reached a dead end. We had to find another way, so we followed our devilish handler. We spotted a first Wyverian up in the cliff tops, and then asked him about the Legiana in the area. He gave us a new heading. We had to search below, so we found our way into a cavern that led us down below. Upon investigating for a bit, we found ourselves a new path, but then we were creeped on. This was looking like a poisonous Tobikadachi, and this thing was absolutely amped up. It was time to take this man's out. But this time it wasn't just me and my Palico. We had our new monster friend to help us out. So we went in with our Charge Blade combo, and then Deep Kong went in to fight. There was no way we would lose with this man on our side. This Viper Tobikadachi was pretty powerful though. He had that speed and that deadly venom you had to be careful of. We also learned a new ability, amping up our hammer. So now when we did our complete attack, we did a lot more damage. Damn, I know that one hurt. Deep Kong hit him with the Kamehameha, but this Viper showed no signs of weakness yet, and that's when it made a run for it. Thankfully, we could ride on the back of Deep Kong and catch back up to him. This man wasn't escaping that easily. We were, however, in its lair though, so we definitely had to be a little bit more careful. Deep Kong was definitely putting in that work, and now the Viper was halfway down to being defeated. Then out of nowhere, Banburos came to play. What the hell? I had to let these three fight it out. It was definitely getting a little bit crowded, but we still had to put in that work. So we did. And now somebody else decided to join the party. What in the who? Now we were having a good time. Everybody was invited. The Viper was weak as hell now, and Bomberos was still beating him up. So we were able to take out this Viper Tobikadachi. It was a good fight, but he never stood a chance with Deep Kong on my side. So we skinned him to honor him, and then returned back to our handler. We continued our investigation to find a new area. Afterwards, it was time to return back to base. We now got info about some subspecies. They were invading various lands, and it was up to us to take them out. We needed to restore the natural order of things, and the scout flies already had the scent of this nightshade Palamu, so we followed them, and once this subspecies decided to run away, we hopped on the back of Deep Kong to chase him down. Now this man was gonna be going down, so we sliced him in the face first, and then started doing our Charge Blade combo. We hit a quick mount and started stabbing him in the back. This man was gonna regret coming over to this place, so we bust him down real quick. And then we went in for our super move. Deep Kong was providing that deep distraction, and then I accidentally hit that sleep cloud. Damn. Luckily Baroth woke me up. Appreciate that. And we eventually got a knock, but we missed our opportunity to hit our super move. Damn, this guy was a little bit tricky. And now he decided to run. So we hopped on the back of Super Saiyan Deep Kong and chased after him. This gotta be the best way to catch back up to monsters. We hopped on the Nightshade's back again, and we went back into Pound Town. We finally got a good hit on our super move and pounded this man down into submission. He now had less than half health left, and this monster was lost in the sauce. He didn't know what to do. The Palamu escaped again, but this would be the last time he ran. So we ended his suffering and then skinned him to honor him. We then had another subspecies to take out. This time it was a Coral Puke Puke, so we followed the scout flies until we found our man. He had himself a high-powered squirt gun. We would definitely have to be careful from that. So we did battle with this man's. Rajang put in that work, but in the end we ended up taking him out. Better luck next time, bud. We were now one step closer to figuring out what was happening, so we returned back to base. There were now reports of a Barioth in the area, so we had to take this man's out in order for our researchers to do their business. So we hopped on the back of Deep Kong, and soon enough we found our monster. Barioth was creating this blizzard, and it was wreaking havoc on this environment. But now it was time to throw some hands. Barioth was going down, so we smacked him in the teeth a few times, and then he knocked us back promptly. Damn, I should have brought Teostra along with this fight. Fire versus ice would have been no problem. This Barioth was one tough cookie though. This thing was acting like an NFL linebacker. Damn. This creature was huge and it moved pretty fast. That was a deadly combination. So deadly that the ice broke from above. We fell down below. Damn. And now we had to find our way back up. Deep Kong came to pick us up though. Appreciate that. And now we were here for round 2. We quickly hopped on top of his head. and started hitting those jabs. And then we gave him a proper pounding. knocking him down to the ground. We even ended up chipping a tooth or two. Good luck with that dental insurance. With no teeth, he made a run for it. He wasn't getting away though. We were deep inside Pound Town now, and Bearmouth wasn't looking as feisty as he once was. He was now looking a little bit tired, but I couldn't blame him. We were giving him the beatdown. Yeah, you like that, don't you? Bearmouth was receiving big hit after big hit, and now he was on his final leg. He only had 3% of his health left now. He was attempting to get his final getaway, but of course that didn't happen. We slayed this majestic beast and skinned him to honor him. With the threat now slain, we reunited with our handler again. They found out some new information on a pretty powerful creature, and that creature soon showed themselves. Damn. This was the actual creature creating all the chaos. We now had some serious business to discuss. Our first step to finding out what was going on was to head back to the ancient forest. Volcana was in the area, and these tracks happened to be fresh. Our investigation led us into a monster fight though, and it was two heavy hitters pitted against each other. Thankfully, we didn't have to fight him yet, so we went back to base to share our discoveries. But since this was the first time we saw a Nargacuga in the new world, of course you know we had to hunt it down. So we followed the trail of footprints until it led us to our prey. Now it was time to take this man's down. We were kind of getting our cheeks handed to us. If it wasn't for Deep Kong having my back, I don't know if I'd stand a chance against this thing. Nargacuga escaped this battle, and I needed a weapon change. So we equipped something a little bit more mobile, and eventually we were able to slay this Nargacuga. To continue our investigation, we now found ourselves looking for a Glavenus. This creature was definitely in a league of its own though. It was looking like a mini Godzilla, so we had to become the Godzilla exterminators. What a majestic beast. We returned back to base now, where there was a big commotion going on. A full-sized Anjanath had been frozen solid. Volcana was behind this. We had to search for even more footprints from Volcana and take out a few new monsters that were sighted. So we took out the T-Rex, as well as a Brachiodos. Damn. This was a hassle all in itself, but the job was taken care of. All that was left was to find a few more Volcana footprints, so we tracked them down. And when we had enough, we reported back to headquarters. It was now time to go head to head with Volcana, so we headed over to Elder's Recess. Volcana was quickly spotted, and it was time to fight. We had to make sure to dodge his icy blast and that pointy tail of his. Damn, Deep Kong and my Palico had my back though. We were about to take this sucker out, so we got a decisive blow on him, and that's when he reached his final form. Damn. Volcana was going crazy now, and it flew off into the distance. The battle wasn't over, but we had no choice but to return back to base for now. We now had an expedition in Hoarfrost Reach. Volcana was spotted in the area, and you already know we had to finish him off. So we conducted a little investigation, collecting clues. The tracks led us to a new area. Instead of finding Volcana though, we found ourselves a shrieking Legiana. This thing was icy and deadly, but I'd say we were pretty deadly ourselves. And with the help of Deep Kong, we got a knock. And eventually this shrieking Legiana shrieked his last shriek. We skinned him to honor him, and then headed back to base. There was now a new breed of Anjanath on the loose, so before we went out for our next quest, we had some of Grandma Kitty's best cooking. Always delicious. We got fitted up with some new gear. Now we had to find tracks of this Fulgar Anjanath, so we found some of its mucus lying on this tree, which led us to some old footprints, and then eventually to the Anjanath himself. It was a decent battle, but no Anjanath could stand a chance against me now. We were now back at base again. There were more subspecies coming out of the woodworks. We had another list of monsters we needed to take out. First up was an acidic Glavenus, as if the regular version wasn't tough enough. This thing absolutely shredded its foes. Damn, so we had to shred him before he caused too much damage. Next on the list wasn't an Odogaron, but instead an Ebony Odogaron, and these two didn't like each other. This ebony version was on another level, so we had to take him down a notch, which definitely was not an easy task. So we had to give him his honors. We now had a plan against Volcana. We needed to distract this creature and give Celiana enough time to bring up the Dragon Razor. Even the fleet's best hunter was having a hard time trying to deal with this thing. It was now time for the final fight. Volcana was going down. We needed to wear this beast down, and I knew this thing hit hard, long range and close range. Damn. We were able to get it decently low though, and now we had other hunters distracting it. We needed to load the fuel for the Dragon Razor. So while Volcana was getting distracted, we went to go get the fuel. We got one loaded, and then on the way for number 2, Volcana came. Damn, he was stopping us in our tracks. We had no choice but to fight him now. So we hit him with a knock, and it was now our chance to load up. So we loaded up our second fuel source. Now all we needed was a clean shot on Volcana. So we launched the Dragon Razor and shot this man straight through the chest. Volcana was repelled once again. That was a job well done. Volcana could come back at any time though. We needed to go to its nest and take it out. It was time to end this once and for all. And this time we were bringing ourselves a Teostra. With Teostra on our side, there would be no way we would lose. His fire would be sure to melt Volcana, so we raced over to Volcana's nest, where our final battle would happen. Perfect Cell Volcana. He was about to go down. This thing was now extra mad. We entered inside his home without even knocking, and Teostra was nowhere to be found. Damn, looks like it would be just up to me and my Palico. But then right on cue, Teostra did show up. What a man, and just in time too. I was getting properly handled, but when fire meets with ice, it eventually melts. Teostra did a mighty fine job. I appreciate you, big baby. Volcana was finally slain, but there was something bigger than Volcana. But to uncover the truth, we needed to play our part. So now we were back in Elder's Recess. We were looking for evidence of a shift, so we began doing our duty looking for tracks. And it looked like this was a Basil Geese. But then we also found more evidence of Nergigante. That's when Super Saiyan 4 Goku appeared. He knew Nergigante was on the hunt. And it looks like Basil Geese was hunting us now. This thing was all fired up, so we ended up cooling him down. This flying Godzilla was sent to the afterlife. We returned from our expedition, and our friend here had even more info on Nergigante. We needed to find more evidence though, so in the meantime we took on some optional quests, picking up tracks as we found them, and taking out various monsters. With the investigation complete, we now had sighting of a Valhazak in the ancient forest. This was beyond weird, so of course we had to investigate, and indeed he was here. These poor Jagas were getting sucked dry. And then a little further on, we finally found Valhazak in all of his glory. Damn, that thing's ugly. This Valhazak had powers I've never seen before either. Damn. But this Valhazak has never faced my new friend, the Ebony Odogaron. So we ended up slicing him down. There were now more Elder Dragon tracks to find. So again we set off on optional quests, found these tracks, and of course slayed monsters. We eventually had enough tracks to lead us to the next Elder Dragon. So we confronted this new dragon. It seemed to be able to control water, and his name was Namiel. Now his water attacks were pretty annoying, and since it kept attacking my Odogaron, I had plenty of opportunities to make my move, slaying this new Elder Dragon. This thing was just an overgrown Koro Puke Puke. So back to base we went. The fleet now had more evidence. They knew where the old Everworm was staying, and that was the source of all these strange things happening. So we departed to a new location. This was Origin Island, where Nergigante was here waiting for us. Oh damn. The regular Nergigante sucked, and this one sucked even harder. Damn. We were putting in some work though, while we were getting worked on. Damn. He even was strong enough to knock down my Monstie and me a couple times, but we were the ones that came out on top. Damn. This thing was a beast. Ruiner Nergigante was slain, but even this powerful monster wasn't the source. It was something else altogether, and this thing was huge. We now had an even bigger enemy to face. This was Graveler, and he definitely wasn't playing around, so it was time to do a little fighting. We were lucky enough to get a pretty quick knock, but eventually he was going to Pound Town. Damn, he changed the whole arena with a couple pounds. Eventually though, his hard rock shell evaporated, unleashing his true nature. Damn, he was trying to Kamehameha us. We definitely had to be way more careful now. Damn, that was the second time now. But with his rocks no longer protecting him, we were able to slice him up. Now this was a good fight, but he still went down. The day was saved again, but I guess he wasn't truly dead. Wait, what? This must be a zombie dragon. But then all of a sudden Nergigante leaped out. I guess we didn't kill him either. Nergigante laid the smackdown on this thing, and I guess laid the finishing blow. He was the true hero. Appreciate that, Nergi. Now it was time to return back to base, have a bite to eat, and watch some of the end-game credits. but you really haven't beat Monster Hunter World Iceborne until you beat Fatalis. We just had quite a few hunts before we were ready for that, but we'll be back.